Well, hello again, everyone. Hope springs eternal for everybody on the grid. It's the first day of a new season. Welcome. I am Gary Gatto, and welcome to Velocity Online Racing's own in-house coverage of Round 1 of Season 3 of the VOR IndyCar DW12 Iconic Series as we come to you today from Homestead, Miami Speedway for the Homestead Miami 200. As always, joining me in the booth for the DW12 series is my good friend, teammate, and broadcast partner, Kyle Clindworth. Clindy, welcome, buddy. Good to be here with you once again to start this season. As I always like to say that even the Chicago Cubs had hope at the start of the season when everyone was tied for first place. And that's kind of what everyone that lines up here today is kind of got that same feeling, is that, well, we're all tied for first. But it's a long season. It's going to be longer than what we had for Season 1 and Season 2. It's going to be 14 rounds this time. How important is it to get off to a good start in this one? Is it as important or not as important since the season's longer?
When the season's a little bit longer, I put a little less emphasis on every individual race just because you have more time to make up if you have a mistake. If anything, last season has shown us that consistency is going to reign supreme. If you show up every week, you finish in the top 5 every week, you're going to be at the top of the standings at the end of the season. So while a longer season does allow you to make up for mistakes, it's going to require, I don't want to say perfection, but consistently good results to finish at the top of the standings at the end of the season.
Gotcha.
I mean, the formula is the same, right? You just have to do it a little bit longer.
True. All right, well, we're getting ready to go lined up here for qualifications is now complete. And we'll get back to our live shot here of the track in just a moment. There it is. As we are now starting to drop cars on the grid. Just want to note it, let everyone, to help out the VOR channel, the best thing you could do is, since we're doing this in-house now, is to always subscribe and click the bell for notifications. You want to do that for VOR and for Julian here. That's going to help his league. And then we always want to do thumbs up, because thumbs up is the best way to feed the algorithm monster. Let's get into the starting lineup here momentarily. And as you see, we got a new overlay we're working here with. And we're going to have some new music too. Julie and I worked on some new music for this one. So let's see how this... Oh, sounds ominous. Almost sounds like
Friday night, Friday the 14th.
It almost sounds like the introduction of the old Bulls serious theme. And now your starting lineup for your Chicago Bulls. But here we're going to have the lineup here for your starting lineup here at Homestead Miami Speedway. On the pole, Liam O'Sullivan with a 2:13.1. Outside of him is the defending series champion Julian Altina in the number 11. He could have put the number 1 on if he wanted to, but he's rocking the double 1. He is outside 2:12.2. Doshenko is P3. Stedman, the silent assassin, is P4. Boney is P5. Strauss P6. Salvazzi P7. Inch P8. Christensen P9. Meadows back in P10. Santos P11 and Colley P12, and that is your 12-car field. I do want to point out that a couple of the VOR cars are almost identical, and that's going to be your front row. Julian is the lighter of the blue cars, more of a royal, and or more of a cobalt, and the Liam O'Sullivan is in more of a royal.
Yeah, kind of like a cerulean versus a, what is the other one? Cyan. Cerulean and cyan. You got the two C shades of blue. Yeah, qualifying seemed to be giving the drivers fits, and the times they posted are not that much faster than what they're going to be posting here in the draft.
Well, getting ready to go racing to start the season off.
Green, green, green.
And we are green, and we are now new season underway. Season 3 of the Iconic Series is now official.
First lap of a new season always feels like a fresh start, a new beginning.
And we got a good pack of cars now starting to, about the first 6, all pretty tight there on the Speedway. First 7 now.
The VOR cars might be starting the season off with a little bit of teamwork. Already swap drafting into turn 3 and 4.
And we got like 3 packs right now. We got this lead pack, which is about 7 or 8 cars. And then we have that farther on pack, which is actually 8th, 9th, 10th, and 11th. And Bill Colley hanging back again, trying to perform the gateway strategy to a T here at Homestead, Miami. And what we saw a little difficulty in qualifications for a lot of these guys, especially getting loose off of 4. It might be an issue later this race when those right rears kind of warm up on these cars. That's Cody Meadows in the back in 9th spot in that Ferrari livery on a DW12. Doesn't look too bad. Matthias Strauss in the new Team Watson Racing setup, black and white, almost like Two-Face. Or actually, it's a big checker flag if you look at it from above. But I do like the half and half look of that car right there. That is pretty slick looking. The new liveries to start the season. Strauss in 8th. Moving on up is Silvazzi in a new livery. I like that. A lot of pastels on that one. Shows up pretty well on the broadcast. Edson Santos moving up to 5th in that iconic Leaner Energy livery that they always run. And then Bonnie right behind him in his self-sponsored kind of purple and chrome ride there, like that. A little bit further on up, Liam O'Sullivan has, as you see, joined Team VOR, our Altena Autosport here for the season. So he is rocking the royal, or the kind of the maybe more purple of a blue. Dojinko in the Logitech white and lime green livery, running P2. And Julian Altena in the all-familiar cobalt blue Altena Autosport livery. And if you've ever driven for Team VOR, you've driven that livery at one time in your career or not. I have. 9 of 34. When are we looking for first pit stops? Oh, and I think Clindy had to step out just real quick. That is fine. Also, today's race is sponsored by Alzheimer's Association, ALZ.org. Make sure to go to ALZ.org and donate to the foundation to help people with Alzheimer's, and more importantly, it also provides help and support to the caregivers of people with Alzheimer's. So check them out at ALZ.org. Clindy has been called upon by a higher power at the moment. He will rejoin us here shortly. The rule set for tonight, as we are lap 12 of 134 starting this season. 5 sets of tires for this race for these cars and drivers. 1 on the car, 4 in the pits. 80% fuel, which is approximately 15.7 gallons. We're not going to do any green-white checkers because this is IndyCar and we don't do any of that stuff. The IndyCar wave around rule is in effect. Track is 1.5 miles, of course, if you're familiar with Homestead. Has progressive banking. It gets steeper as you go higher. So that's why you see a lot of these cars starting to go higher onto the banking. We'll be doing 134 laps, which is right around 201 race miles. Pit road speed limit is 50 miles an hour. Everyone kind of settling into a groove now. Everyone kind of just in line, without the exception of Julian. Really, everyone's doing maximum fuel saving. Julian is your leader in the number 11. Right behind him is Doshenko, then O'Sullivan, Santos, and Bonnie is your top 5. Homestead has had, as I like to say, has had more alterations than a Kardashian. And there are many IndyCar track records here because there have been many different configurations of the track. In fact, there's 4 IndyCar track records here. Of course, CART originally ran here back in a 96, 97, and that was a mini Indy configuration. So it was a rounded rectangle at 1.5 miles. And the original track record set by Paul Tracy back in 96 with a 198.5. 9-0, so obviously these guys a lot more faster than that. Then when the track did reconfigure, it turned itself into a flat paperclip basically. So take this configuration, just flatten out the corners. That's kind of what you had, and those increased the speeds up to 217.5, held by Greg Moore, set 98 here at Homestead. Homestead was also kind of on the front lines of the IndyCar Civil War, and eventually came over to the IRL, and they came over here also in the flat oval era. In 2003 was their first race, and Tony Kanaan set the track record here to 203.560. And then after 2003, they decided to add the banking, which is in its traditional and more familiar configuration that you can see right here. And that really increased the speeds. 2006, Sam Hornish set the existing track record at a 218.539. The fastest IndyCar 300-mile race was held here back in 2009. Dario Franchitti had the average, as we see Meadows making a move on the outside there of Bonnie going into 3. So he decided that he's going to move on up. Dario Franchitti set an average race speed of 201.420 with his win here in 2009. The all-time wins leaders here at Homestead are Sam Hornish, Scott Dixon, Dan Weldon, each with 3. Sam Hornish, Scott Dixon, Dan Weldon, all with 3. Ironically, Michael Andretti has 2 wins here, and both were on the mini Indy configuration. So maybe if IMS here was a mile shorter, he would have had a little bit of luck, weather luck at least. But that's kind of the irony I saw of when he won on those races. He won on the mini Indy configuration. But everyone, thanks for joining us. Help us keep the positive momentum of a new season launching here on the VOR channel. If you enjoy Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR IndyCar DW12 Iconic Series, that's a mouthful. We will get used to that. And you respect the stream, please do us all. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you don't miss out on future VOR iRacing broadcasts. All their series this year, or this upcoming season. So the DW12, the IR05, and the IR18 series will all be on in-home broadcast on their channel. '21 of 134 in the books. Back up front, there's Julian Altena, defending series champion, and the team won the team championship. Another move. Oh, my goodness, for Meadows, almost getting into the side of Santos. Had to roll out of it. It's going to get freight train a little bit. If you like the DW12 action you're watching right here, make sure to check out also my last race for the Dark Horse DW12 series on Sunday. It's going to be over on Raceverse, and that will be their end of their season championship at Indianapolis. In fact, anybody here that's watching this after the fact, hop on over to the Dark Horse channel. You can sign up, and you can also qualify for that race if you like. Help make it a little bit bigger field. But I tell you, that will be their season-ending race there in the Dark Horse Series, and full-length Indy 500. And in these cars, it's going to be a lot of fun. So check that out. That's going to be 8 p.m. on Sunday. But if you're watching this after the fact as a driver, or have free time on Sunday, check out the Dark Horse Series. If you need their Discord, let me know, and I'll send it to you. Doing Meadows in the draft there of Bonnie. Oh, wow. Salvazzi had the roll out of that one.
I think it's interesting, Gary, that a lot of the cars are choosing to race similar lines to the cars in front of them. Typically, whenever I race at Homestead, even especially in the DW12, Delara Dash was just here last week. I found that if you were anywhere near the wake of the car in front of you, the car would just not turn at all. So it's interesting to me that everyone is either conserving fuel or just feels very comfortable in the line with the way the setup is. Obviously, I have not raced this setup in traffic just by itself, so it maybe has a lot of drag. You could just hit really, really well.
Let's take a look at Edson Santos in fourth. He's up 7 spots. He saw the small field, chose not to qualify, says, I can do that on my own. And what are we looking?
Really quick.
He is real quick. We're watching his times right now. Purple lap does belong to him as well, 25.1.
Were you asking about pit stops, Gary?
Yes, pit stops.
Yeah, they'll be coming up pretty soon here. I'd say sometime within the next 5 to 10 laps, depending on if you've been leading or if you've been in the draft. So I'd think Julian will probably need to pit no later than lap 37, maybe lap 40 if did a little bit of swapping earlier. But I think you can get about 42 laps, excuse me, typical use in the draft. And I could be a little wrong. You could be saving a lot more than that. They could stretch it to like 46 or 48, even without fuel maps, just by lifting and coasting with the pack that we've seen this entire race.
And we'll show you here. There is the pit-in rule here. If you're not familiar with the pit-in rule here in IndyCar, we'll show you right here. Watching Julian on the backstretch, and there's going to be a pit road down here on the apron, right where I have that arrow, right down there. That's where they're going to have to slow down and get onto to get on the pit road. They just can't come off of 4 and go in. They could do that. They might be able to do that under caution, but under green flag, they can't come in directly onto pit road. So that's the thing that everyone's going to be really having to work on. I don't know how many people worked on it in pre-race practice, but getting down here and bringing your car slowly down to a safe speed so you don't slide up the banking or slide off the access road back up into the racetrack is quite the challenge.
I think Dave Stedman's probably feeling the heat in his tires that have built up. It looks like he slid all the way back to 8th from starting 4th, just getting picked off one by one. I don't know if he's just pushing too hard or if maybe he's trying to save a little bit of fuel, but well, there he goes, right underneath Salvazzi, so he's definitely fighting. And Bonnie gets into the side of Meadows there.
Yeah, just caught that. Oh, there's contact. There's 3 cars, 4 cars.
4 cars.
And that happened right at Meadows. I saw exactly what happened. You saw it too. Let's go back and take a look at that. I know what happened. Let's go back and he pulls out, and he didn't know Bonnie was there. He didn't hear clear because Bonnie was there.
Fractions of an inch. So, Gary, I heard you were promoted to official steward of the series?
I don't know. That might be a conflict of interest, but I guess.
Now, you don't need to give your opinions on stewarding live on the air. I think, things like this required a nuanced take, but I believe that there is clearly one driver at fault for that incident.
We'll see. We'll watch this one here. Here comes on the outside. There it is. Yeah, that was even net code. That was, yeah, that's unfortunate. And that took out Stedman, who was fast. Boney was fast. Meadows was also fast. Getting out of that somehow was getting through that was Christensen. Let's take a look from Christensen's point of view. And here he is. Watch this all happen in front of Christensen here. Like, oh goodness, where do I go? How do I do this? Oh, actually, that either bounced over him or he morphed through it. But I'm surprised that didn't give him some sort of damage. Very close indeed. Oh, he's on pit road getting some work done.
Meadows just came over apologizing for the contact on the racetrack, so sounds very remorseful, but when you ruin 3 guys' days,
there are
words only go so far.
Right, and there's your current weather conditions. Track temp is at 74, so it's a very cool evening here at Homestead. I had way back in the younger days of Gary racing on iRacing, I had a very similar situation actually racing in VOR, one of my very first VOR races. It was back in one of the previous tire models of the IR18, and it made the pack races here, or made races here very pack races. And there was also an older scan. This is also on the older scan of Homestead, before they brought in the scan that had the turquoise walls. I think they were still white walls at the time, and then an older tire model. And so we had pack race, and I drove to the front in this pack race, and I was leading laps. But this actually led to my first interaction ever with the and we're lights out on the pace car, getting ready to go green. This led to my first ever interaction, really, with the founder of RaceVerse. He was racing me, and he pulled down very similar to get a run, try to go on, get a run on me going into one, and I not necessarily reacted, but I just made my normal arc of the one, and I clipped him, and we were at the front of the field, and he spun and basically collected the remainder of the field behind us. And I still contend that that wasn't my fault, but race control gave me a penalty that let's just say I was mad enough that I didn't serve it for a couple of weeks. So Cody, you might be upset, might be a little remorseful, but it's happened to all of us. So hope to just see you return here in a week. Don't let it let you down.
Green flag, green flag.
And we're back underway here. And Christensen's still sitting on pit road, so he did get some damage, but he's trying to get rebuilt here. So 8 cars now left remaining, with only 40 of 134 into this thing. So a long race still ahead of us, and a very short field. Again, if you're just watching and you're just kind of flipping around YouTube and you come across this and you're like, hey, I got iRacing, you also have the DW12 car for free. Here comes the Zico to the inside of Julian. You do have the DW12 car for free, and this is a free league. You can hop on over here, join the Discord server. All those links, I believe, are in the description, and you can sign up to be part of the series. Every single race is going to be televised here off of or broadcasted off the VOR channel. So all the names and graphics that you're used to seeing from before will still be here, except they'll be all in-house on the VOR channel.
I think Edson Santos is done running through the pack. I think he wants to lead. He's been dialing up that white line and went by the 4 cars in front of him in short order.
Edson, winner in the Dark Horse Series. Team won the inaugural championship here of the DW12 Series before it became the Iconic Series. He and his teammate won the team championship. His teammate won the driver championship. Bit of a 4-car breakaway forming up. Matthias Strauss is the 5th car in line. Everybody hit pit road, so we're going to be good for about another 40-ish laps or so. That'll get us to about lap 80. Another 40 or so. I mean, we're still looking at 2 more stops. And it'll be a full stop and then a splash, looks like, at the end, unless we can get some more caution or do some fuel conservation. But if you're just joining us, this is Velocity Online Racing's coverage of the VOR IndyCar DW12 Iconic Series, coming to you from Homestead, where we completed 45 of the scheduled 134 laps. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the next race, which is tomorrow, which is the start of the IndyCar Championship Series. Some big names are scheduled to be in that one, you've seen in the community, and they will be right here at Homestead. It'll be me and Jalopnik.com's Ryan Eric King in the booth.
You know, Gary, we were talking about whether it would be 2 stops or 1 stop. I think if you can save aggressively and make 45 laps a tank here, you will make it on 1 more stop. So I see Julian's already kind of given up the lead and is running 4th now. I would not be surprised if that's what he tries to do. So the magic lap number that you're looking for is pitting on lap 89, coming to lap 90.
All right.
If you can do that, you'll make it with just 1 more pit stop.
All right.
It will be tough, I think. I think you can't really save 7 laps worth of fuel, but you can certainly try. And I guess every lap you do save is less fuel you put in at the end, if you have to do a splash and dash.
Well, we're getting into the second stint here for all these drivers. Let's bring up the next season's schedule. And there it is. As Iconic Series, so 14 rounds this season, a little bit longer. We'll be doing this week and next week. We'll be here at Miami, of course, and then next week at Texas. And then we're going to take a week off, and then July 4th weekend, we will be doing the Grand Prix of Road America, our first road course race in these cars. That will be the 5th. Then on the Iowa, then the Gateway. Then our next road course race at the Indy GP in August. In September, we'll be doing the Indy 500K. And then Nashville. And then we move on to the 3rd road course race of the season at Laguna Seca. Pocono, Kentucky, Phoenix, and the 5th road course race of the season at Sonoma. All the way in December. So we are going to be at least twice a month running these cars. Most of the time, they will be on the same track that the IR18 series will be running the next day. So there's some schedule overlap. If you want to run these cars and run the IR18 series, you can. Again, just go to VOR Discord server, sign up. And there is an entry fee for the IR18, but the DW12 series is free. So there's one, Sonoma, Laguna Seca, Indy GP, and Road America. So actually 4 road course races. 4 road course races. So if you're not a good road course guy, you can certainly get on those races and learn. And there are only 4 of them. And if you're good on the ovals, that should supersede whatever you do on the road courses. Give it a shot. Give it a shot.
I might need to sign up, Gary. I've been, I don't want to say dabbling, but dipping my toes definitely into the road course racing here at Road America this past week, and I've had mixed results. But I'm climbing up closer to 2,000 road rating, which means I'm not as bad as I thought I was to begin with, I guess.
And Cody did check it in chat. And yeah, no worries, man. It happens to all of us. I don't know if you heard my story about when it happened to me, but yeah. And there's a battle between Dejinko and Julian, and for third, Julian passing, sliding up, Brazilian clear. Very close there. Dejinko to the inside, trying to get that position back, not going to be able to get it. So move Julian up to third.
Wonder if he did that because he will feel more comfortable running right on the attenuator of his teammate O'Sullivan.
Teammates do always tend to run more comfortable together for a variety of reasons. Number one reason is that you're kind of racing. In IndyCar racing, you're kind of racing, but you're really not kind of racing your teammate until the very, very end. If this is Formula One racing, they would absolutely be racing one another right now. But the other reason is, well, when you race with your teammate in IndyCar, you don't want to wreck your teammate. So if you can't trust your teammate in IndyCar racing, who can you trust?
Your ghost car that you're practicing against in hot lapping.
Well, that one will definitely run you over. So Sullivan checking to run to the inside.
But it doesn't hit you.
And move O'Sullivan to the lead.
Yeah, very quickly, these 3 cars, if they're going full push and continue to swap like that, they're going to break away from Dovzhenko, Salvazi, and Strauss behind. Unless they begin swapping in the same manner. If they do, we'll have 2 little packs of 3, and we'll see which one can be more efficient in the swapping and on pit stops. Otherwise, you're basically looking at your podium and then your back half of the top 10.
Oh.
Is that Salvazi?
Yeah, Salvazi and Dojinko, a little evasive back there. A little bit of a little bit more than a Pruitt fade happening back there. That was looks like a little bit of a reactionary block almost. We have to go back and look at it. It might have been just a reaction with the car pulling out from the side there. It was just maybe we had a bad angle on it. Only one caution so far. This is your closest battle on the racetrack right here. We want to thank, first of all, if I'm going to talk about the sponsors, we got to put the sponsors back on the screen. I do want to thank the Alzheimer's Association for sponsoring the race. Check them out at ALZ.org. Make a donation. Not only are your donations helping research and patients, they're also helping caregivers as well. Check them out at ALZ.org. Also want to thank our title sponsor of the series, IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specialize in helping their clients make the most of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscape. You might want to check out Alexander Bonney, who is now out of the car and could probably take your phone call now to talk to you more about IFS personal financial planning. Check him out on the Discord here, the VOR Discord. Send him a message if you got any questions or about any personal financial planning. He's your guy, and he is a proud sponsor of the Iconic series.
Well, I think when it comes to finance, right, he will get you in touch with the guy. They have a lot of compliance professionals, I've heard, in that space who get kind of nitpicky about the language used to provide and promote their services. I don't know anyone in that field personally, but if I did, maybe he was on the microphone right now. Unless that's his day job. Is that his day job, Gary? Does he work for them? Or
yeah,
is he just partner with them?
That's his. I believe that is his day, and it's a family-owned business.
Maybe he is the guy.
I think he is the guy. I mean, I've always said Alexander Bonney is the guy. He's the man. But that's for entirely other reasons. Oh, Julian is right up in that high line.
Yeah, I think him trying to save all that fuel earlier really heated up or burned up his tires. Oh, O'Sullivan as well, also in the wall there. Santos has been married to the white line, more or less, and running at the very traditional arc in from top, go all the way down to the bottom, least banked portion of the racetrack,
yep,
and then apexing cleanly off the track, whereas the VOR cars have really been married to the second and third groove, and that's really not friendly to your tires.
This is a great track, and you could build up a bit of a rhythm, especially when you get into green flag racing. A couple of years ago, VOR, the IR18 season, the IR18 series started their season here, and they had a huge turnout. I want to say 30 cars plus, and I went in and I qualified. I did not have the best lap. I was back in the high 20s, and I decided once we got into a solid green flag run that I would just turn down the wick, and I turned down the wick a lot. And the interesting thing about this place is it's a lot like Motegi, where you can turn the wick down, but if you're good at throwing the dirty air around, you can keep the car behind you at bay for quite a while. And that's kind of what I did for an entire stint, is I just really held off any competitors that I had for my positions, took advantage of mistakes, and then on one period where I was going very, very long, the caution fell right when I needed it to, and it cycled me right up to the front, and I got a top 10 finish after starting way back in the 20s, and that was one of my more fun races. Because all of a sudden my teammates is like, "Where'd you come from?" It's like, "Surprise, guys, I'm here."
I won my very first IndyCar top split race with alternative going long strategy at Kentucky. I felt really good. It's the same thing, you just kind of you top off on the first caution, then you just ride around them at 5 and wait for that yellow, and I got it.
Yep, Strauss on pit road. The time, yeah. There's no better feeling in the world when you get that yellow that falls at the right time for you.
Yeah, I think Strauss and Santos here both know that they're going to stop twice, so they're going to get the most out of their new tires by pitting in the middle of the run rather than running as long as possible. This race does have a green flag look. Ojoveco got onto pit road very quickly. He made up several seconds on Santos, so perhaps he'll be able to draft with him if he has a very clean and fast pit stop after the cycle of stops has completed.
He is down to a spot there, up on the jacks. New tires going on, topping off the tank. 80% is the fuel capacity, down and away for Santos. Dojiko down and away. He was ready to go. He was smashing that accelerator like, come on, come on, come on.
Gotta catch up. I gotta catch up. He's right there. Don't let him get away. O'Sullivan's pitting this lap.
Julian going long.
I think that's why he saved, right? That's
yeah.
Why, if you're going to save, you may as well use that extra gas you have.
Thank you for joining us. This will be a regular matinee Friday pretty much now to the rest of the year. There's a couple off weeks. You're going to be either watching the DW12s or the IRO5s for the Champ Car Series. Hopefully signups go well there, and they do indeed schedule that. Right now, signups are a little slow. If you are a DW or an IRO5 fan, that is a legacy car. I believe it's not free, but it's like $4.95. You could buy it at the iRacing store, and you can join that series as well. There is a small fee for that series. I want to say it might be. I don't want to say the wrong amount, but it's a very small fee. It's a smaller schedule. I think it's only 8 rounds instead of the 19 or the 14. And you could join that series too. The IRO5s and the DW12s do have a little bit in common. They have, there's Julian coming off of pit road. He's going to cycle out in front of Liam O'Sullivan. Liam has a head of steam into 3, down low. And he's going to pass him, but Julian's still coming up the speed with fresh tires. Everyone has completed their second pit stop now. So one more to go after this. If anyone can get to... no one could get to that number that you said on that stint.
No, not even close.
Yep. So there's going to be the stint lengths with about 40 laps, really. So they're going to get within 14 of the end, 15 of the end, and then they'll all have to stop for fuel, and there's going to be enough fuel going in the car. They probably have time to change the tires as well, so put on a new set of tires. But anyways, if you're interested in the IRO5 series, which we are calling the Champ Car Series, as an homage to the USAC Champ Car and then the Champ Car World Series, that ran in the 2000s. If you're interested in that, they drive very similar to the DW12s. They do not have a tool set in them, so you do not have the anti-roll bars or the weight jacker in fixed setup races, which these are. So it's just you and your right foot and left foot.
The way Dale Jr. intended.
Can't we pick another driver IndyCar related?
I picked him because of his relationship with iRacing.
Oh, okay. I wish someone with IndyCar would have a tight relationship with iRacing. But big news. I'm going to
reserve comment. Sorry.
But big news this week for IndyCar. New TV contract. So this nice in the style of NBC overlay that we're running will be outdated in about a year.
9 months, really. Maybe 10.
Speeds are still in the 211s, as you see for last lap speed. Santos is your leader, watching a battle between second and third as they kind of swap draft. They have 1.8 up to Santos. They are out of the draft envelope for Santos right now. Santos all by himself. Now 1.9, so he is pulling away. So yes, NBC will be going having their last race, which will be the NASCAR the Nashville Super Speed, not NASCAR, Nashville Super Speedway race later this season. Will be the last race of IndyCar on NBC, and then it moves to Fox next season. They've released the schedule. The schedule is pretty much identical to what we're running right now, with the exception of no doubleheader at Milwaukee, and that Thermal will be a points race. Now, I'm interested in how they're going to. How a neighborhood community like that's going to allow all those people in to watch that thermal race. That'll be interesting. That's like my old house used to be along a golf course, and when they would have tournaments, and they would have bigger tournaments that would hit that golf course every now and then. There were all sorts of extra people walking around that you didn't really know, and our backyard backed up right up to the second fairway. So, how would you like it if your backyard backed up to, one of the viewing mounds or whatever? I don't know. So it's going to be interesting how they handle that particular race. But the schedule is going to remain the same. They'll move around some races. Gateway is going to be moving closer to Indianapolis, which is good because it's always good to have another oval showcase after Indianapolis so soon, because the cars seem to do race so well there, and they've been putting on great races, banger races, for at least the last 3 or 4 years.
And in the VOR series, our Gateway race was amazing. Go back and watch it.
It was. And Bill Colley, there he is right there. There's our winner in the DW12 series.
Gateway survivor.
And Edson Santos, if he saved a little fuel on that one, would have won that race, actually.
Yeah,
very hazy weather out here right now. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, it was, 2.5 seconds over the course of the run when Colley had, stole it from him.
Yeah.
I think, Julian and Liam are definitely working together, swapping every
They're not
single lap,
gaining,
every
though.
single quarter. No, they're not. They're about half a tenth, maybe half a tenth faster, but that's not enough, right?
Yeah, let's bring up last laps turned.
Oh, they're there. They were a tenth and a half faster that lap.
Maybe they just need to let Julian lead the way.
I think it really depends on how clean the swap was, or how well executed the swap was. For example, right here, Liam didn't swap with Julian going into 3. They're going to swap going into 1. So I think maybe waiting. No, they're not. I don't know what I'm talking about. Fire me, Gary. Kick me out of the booth.
So what the schedule is showing that it's going to start in March, and then there's a lot of open gaps between the first 4 rounds or so, which is kind of a little angering. They could fill those up with some warm weather races. Homestead would be one. Phoenix would be another. If we want to add some ovals to the schedule. People keep talking about Texas. I doubt we'll see Texas rejoin the schedule if they do the reconfigure. If they keep Texas as is, maybe we see IndyCar go back there. But Eddie Gossage was their big IndyCar proponent, and then unfortunately he has passed away. And that is a big loss for Texas Motor Speedway, but almost a bigger loss for IndyCar, because that might have been their future hope for continuing to run there.
So, Gary, I think a lot of dominoes are going to fall probably in 2026 or 2027.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Reconfigure is done, because I think Texas is waiting to see how that track turns out. I think if Texas likes how that, I'll call it a super speedway short track, works out, I think they will make the exact same thing.
Oh, that'll be just awful. That'll just be awful. Because I know why they did it in California.
Wouldn't you want to race at a slightly smaller Iowa? I think if you just make Iowa, what is it?
No, I don't want to race
at
a slightly smaller Iowa, because when these guys raced at a slightly smaller Iowa, it was called Richmond, and the races weren't very good there. They were fast. They were blindingly fast, and they looked
progressive banking.
No.
I think if you give Richmond progressive banking, these cars would really shine there.
Yeah, they're not going to tear up Richmond just for these things, though.
Well, I'm saying future Texas and
yeah.
Auto Club. I think that's
I would love to see them actually return to Richmond, and then maybe do some reprofiling. But everyone says, let's go back to Richmond. If we watch the races, go back and watch the races. They were not that good. People are like, well, maybe they're better in the new car with the maybe the road course package on them, the full downforce. I don't think so. But
I would only make oval racing worse.
and that's right. And that's why I say that. As we're watching Julian kind of pull away now from O'Sullivan. His last lap was about 2 miles per hour faster. So I think O'Sullivan is kind of lingering and suffering in the aero wash here. But Julian's still not catching Santos.
No, I think Santos is, barring a caution, he's got this race well in hand. He would need to speed on pit road, have a pit road commitment violation either on exit or on entry, or make a mental error running this low line. If he dips his left sides below the white line, he could spin out all by himself. But we're going to get some action on pit road here. I think Liam O'Sullivan has had enough being behind Julian and is coming in for 4 fresh tires.
Julian's coming in too. Last stop, scheduled stop here for these two. They're going to try for the undercut. And Salvazzi on pit road as well. Nope, sorry, that is Salvazzi. Just when I click the, yeah, there it is.
Trust yourself.
Yes. Well, when I clicked the producer button to go to the camera, it went to another car.
Now, I think everyone else undercutting so aggressively is really going to play into Santos's hand. I have lost so many races at Homestead that I thought I would win undercutting. In fact, Tuesday night open top split just from last season, I led up until, I don't know, 15 to go, and then got my doors blown off me by 7-lap fresher tires. Santos is only going to give them 3 laps here, but the lighter tank, the fresher tires, and he's not even going to lose his lead. He had such a large lead to begin with. Unless he makes a mistake, he's going to re-inherit the lead once the cycle is completed.
Thanks everyone showing up in chat. Bean Man, thank you. There's a silent assassin, Dave Stedman. Not so silent in chat. Top Speed King. Vertically though, yeah, you went skyward. Did a couple of barrel rolls. Maybe trade
used more of the track than anyone else.
Maybe trade in that the wheel for a yoke. I saw the new trailer for Flight Simulator 2024. That looks pretty slick.
Yeah, Dave was in it.
Strauss is now your leader as Santos is back on the racetrack on his outlap right now.
He's got a bigger lead over Altena and Sullivan now than he did before pit stops. So he just executed very, very well. And those fresher tires from the VOR cars did not really erase any of the lead he had.
It might have been a smart choice on his to react quickly.
Yeah, it may be.
Strauss kept grabbing the apron a little bit, going up the banking, but caught it. But Strauss,
that's exactly what I'm talking about, those mental errors.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the race goes on, the tank gets lighter and the tires get hotter. You do the same amount of wheel input that you've done the last 30 laps, and the car just rotates more. It puts you in a really difficult position as the driver to react quickly enough. And see Strauss is flirting with the white line again in the apron, to react quickly enough to not just lose it all by yourself when you're doing the same thing you've been doing for the last 30 laps.
So more back on the talking about the new TV schedule for IndyCar. You're right. I think 2026. Mark Miles said in an interview during the 500 festivities here that the 2026 schedule will be more impactful, which makes me think that all these wish lists that the fans are giving to go back to Michigan, go back to Homestead, go back to Pocono, go back to Phoenix. Because really, I think all the road courses everyone wants for them to go back to are currently on the schedule, with the exception of the one that everyone talks about is Cleveland. And I don't, for whatever reason, I don't know if that will ever happen again. I don't know if it's because the airport's under a new airport authority, or if it's a city thing, or if it's just they can't. The airport's still there. It's not like Mig Field where the airport's not there anymore. The airport is still there. So here, Strauss coming to pit road, a little squirrely. Did he get down in time? So I don't know if they could ever go back to Cleveland, and if they can't, what the reason is. But that's every other road course that everyone kind of really wants IndyCar to go to or remain to is on the schedule now. I mean, I can't think of any other road courses.
I would like to respectfully disagree, Gary.
Watkins Glen, well, maybe there's that. I don't know. Some people might have maybe like Vancouver. Maybe some people liked the Gold Coast when they did Surfers Paradise.
IndyCar had a race scheduled here, and it never happened.
Boston?
Nope. Guess again.
It definitely was scheduled for Boston. Well, IndyCar did have one. Oh, Inch getting the apron this time. Inch going long right now in 35 laps. They did schedule...
I'm so sorry, Gary.
What?
They raced there once, and the second one got canceled.
They raced there what?
They raced there once, and the second edition was canceled.
The second edition is NOLA?
Coda.
Oh yes. Well, I can answer Coda. Yeah, that's I can agree to that.
But yeah, the Glen also. I just it's the best road course in North America, hands down. Fight me.
Road America.
The higher speed cars. No.
Better than Road America.
Glen.
Better than Road America.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely. Fight me.
Inch is your leader for the moment, and here he is sporting the ALS.org URL on the side. Make sure to visit them and give them a donation for Alzheimer research and the Alzheimer Association. Here he comes, coming to pit road. Your donations will go toward research, patient care, and caregiver support as well. And coming to pit road for Inch.
That'll put everyone else back on the lead lap, except for Bill Cawley, who just unfortunately...
Savazzi, something happened to Savazzi. He is out. So now we're down to 7 with 20 laps remaining. Okay,
so it looks like on his out lap, getting up to speed, he scrubbed the wall in turn 3 and 4 on cold tires, and was feeling the car out, giving a little bit of a wiggle down the front stretch, maybe see if there's anything broken, and it looked like the car hooked up and careened into the inside wall.
Ouch.
So a little bit of a driver mistake there. Surprised it did not bring out a caution.
No caution.
Stopped right in the middle of the track, but yeah, no yellow for that. And that was on lap 104.
So let's reset the field as last stops are done for most people. I think everyone's last stops are done now, to be honest with you. Santos is your leader. He's dominated the second half of this race. He's the leader by 3 seconds over Julian Altina. Julian Altina, the defending series champion, is P2. Right behind him is his teammate, new teammate for this season, Liam O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan is in third, about a second behind Julian. That's your top 3. Mateus Strauss survived a little bit of a coming to pit road scare. He is 4th. Doshinko is 5th. All these guys are on the lead lap, including Dan Inch here, who just made his final stop not too long ago. He is in 6th. Bill Cawley is in 7th, 1 lap down, as he's staying to the inside to let the faster traffic on by.
I really think Edson Santos won this race after the first yellow because he didn't waste any time. I think he full committed to I'm going to stop twice and not bother trying to save. Whereas I think Julian and Liam maybe pondered it for 3 to 5 laps, right?
Right.
And in those laps, he capitalized, put them in the dirty wash, and then they were never able to recuperate the time that they lost trying to save and the tire that they burned trying to save. Honestly, really masterclass in making a decision and sticking to it, right? Whereas if Julian and Liam had maybe stuck to the saving strategy, they would still be out there at the tail end of their second run trying to get these last 14 laps in, crawling around the track. I mean, it may not have been competitive, but they would at least maybe have a shot to win rather than being, 3.5 seconds behind Santos. I think they were probably 2 laps on both stints short, even if they'd gone full save. So
gotcha.
I don't think it would work unless you could unless you could change the fuel map, then it might have been pretty close, but it's not the world they live in.
Gotcha. Well, we will see how these strategies play out. I think we're watching the way this race is going to finish right now, and we shall see in 2026 how impactful this schedule might be for the real NTT IndyCar Series. A lot of people are not very happy with the Fox choice. I'm kind of remain cautiously optimistic. There's a lot of money injected into the series at a time that it really needs it, and that money will also go to the teams. And will that go toward developing a new chassis and new engines and all that stuff? Because, of course, we've been running the DW12 base chassis since 2012. What currently is on the current car is the tub is a DW12 tub. It's just a 2018 aero kit that's attached to the side of it to make it kind of look like more of a throwback to what the Indy cars look like in, let's say, the early 90s, really. Kind of more of the flying dart type look. And I do think they improved upon the look, although the DW12s has a look on its own that I do like. I do like the way the 12s looked until the manufacturers decided to slap on all the extra pieces for their aero kits late in the run of that car, and they looked really funky at that point.
I'm of the opinion, Gary, that a rising tide raises all boats, and I honestly think that IndyCar is going to come out well ahead, being on Fox during times that normal race fans would expect to see a NASCAR race on the air. They will turn on the race, or they will think they'll turn on the race, and they'll see open wheel car racing instead, and I think a large number of them will stick around. Any sort of motorsport with consistency, I think, is something a lot of the schedules have been missing, and IndyCar has better scheduled start times, I believe, than NASCAR does on a regular basis. So having that on a channel where people expect to see motor racing at a time where people expect to see motor racing, I think will pay dividends.
And that might help also keep Honda in the sport. To have your product on primetime television or on a major network does matter. So maybe we see Honda decide that they want to stay in the series. Right now it's kind of iffy. But the fact that they're going to be on regular television, network television, over-the-air television, not cable, not USA Network, not on the Peacock app, but on regular. Most everyone has a Fox affiliate now. It's not the big. Remember, there was the big three. Well, it's really the big four. It's NBC, CBS, ABC, and now Fox. Most everyone has it over the air in their homes from an antenna, at the very least. That might make a difference to keep an extra manufacturer, maybe bring another manufacturer in. Oh, a festive background there. And that might have been a phone call from the bullpen dialing into Clindy's mobile studio there. We're watching Edson Santos, your leader, 129 of 134, quickly getting to the end here. Thanks everybody for joining us. Make sure to smash like. Well, not that one. Let's do this one, Gary. There we go. Subscribe. And thumbs up. Just a couple more laps here for Edson Santos to get another win here in the series. Right now 131 of 134 down the backstretch, all by himself by about 3 seconds. Nearest car in front of him is 11 seconds, so he's not going to get into any lap traffic. Only thing that might stop him from winning this race is a caution, and then that way he would just finish under caution. He would still win the race. What am I talking about? But anyways, you know what I mean. Just right now he's at the point where if the caution does fall, the race is his anyways. So 132 of 134 for the Leaner Energy team. His teammate Rafi Eckert not in the lineup, but he was the series champion for the inaugural season. And we shall see the white flag this time by white flag. Final lap here for the Homestead Miami 200. Down the backstretch, very clean. In the 3 and 4, one final time. And Edson Santos returning to the top step here in the UW12s with the win in the season opener at Homestead. Let's get those results in, shall we? Edson Santos with the win. Julian Altena, the defending series champion, is P2. Liam O'Sullivan is P3. That is your podium. Mateus Strauss, 4th. Inch, 5th. Great finish for him. And, of course, don't forget his ALS sponsorship. Make sure to donate to the ALS. Want to thank the Alzheimer's Association for sponsoring today's race. And also make sure you donate to them by going to als.org and donate to them. And your donations go to help patients, research, and caregivers. Fordor DeChico finishes 6th. Bill Colley 7th. Salvazzi 8th. Christensen 9th. Stedman 10th. And Bonnie and Meadows 11th and 12th. Unfortunately, they were all, a lot of those guys in the bottom 4 were taken out in that early incident on the front stretch. You see Edson Santos led 135 laps, really dominated the second half of this race. All right. And then let's bring up here get into the interview room and see if Liam O'Sullivan's there. Purple lap belongs to Salvazzi. He got that in the race. Need to have that added to the overlay. So I can keep track of that for you. And in the booth here with Gary and Clindy is Liam O'Sullivan. I think Clindy might be on the bat phone at the moment, so if he chimes in, don't be scared. He might not be here at the moment. But Liam, welcome to the podium. Welcome to Altena Autosport, first of all. Second of all, welcome to the podium. And talk about your race. It looked like when you and Julian were trying to work together there in the middle portion of the race, you really weren't gaining on Santos, and it might have cost you extra some wear on your tires. Is that kind of what happened, and as you kind of fell back off the pace a little bit from Julian?
I don't know what rocket fuel he was putting in his car, to be honest. He was just... the setup was really like... you could go backwards and forwards of it quite well, and I think we gained a 10th doing it in 20 laps, so we were like, okay, there's no points. Then he jumped us by pitting early on the pit window, so we tried to massively undercut.
Right, we noticed that. Yep.
which was the only way we were going to catch him. So we on purpose killed our tyres trying to catch him. I was fully dead after 20 laps with the tyres. But yeah, it was a good race on the whole. It got a bit kind of... I was trying to catch Julian's draft, but then I was hoping the lap car of Bill would help me out a bit, but it just didn't work that way. And I was flat out in 5th the whole way round. Just couldn't do anything. But yeah, it's a great first race. Again, new team. Good start to DW12 Championship. Hopefully, again, the grid's only going to get stronger, especially we've got the R18s tomorrow. More people are going to be interested and stuff as it continues. But yeah, it was a good first race, good clean race, and hopefully continues.
Oh, good start to the season, nevertheless. Any shout-outs, friends, families, sponsors, teammates? Go right ahead.
Hello to all my family watching, as always. Want to thank, again, Alterna Autosport for picking me up at my first response after a sort of a difficult situation for me, but good to continue in the same form that I've left off with. Also, 4D Raceware and ALZHEIME'S Association for sponsoring the race today. Big shout out to them. And yeah, hopefully, continue that into the R18 race tomorrow. I think we have 24, 25 cars, which is going to get chaotic, but hopefully same result at the end of it, and if not better.
Well, congratulations. I hope to see you tomorrow. Best of luck for that one, but good start to the season here in the DW12 series, finishing 3rd at Homestead. We'll see you at Texas next.
Yep, thanks, guys.
And we'll bring up Julian here now. Julian, we got you here in the booth with Gary and Clinty. I think Clinty had to answer the bat phone real quick.
I am back.
Oh, he's
Gary.
back.
So
okay.
Congratulations on the podium, Julian. Sorry, I didn't want to bump in while you were interviewing Liam.
Well, Julian, you and I had a long day ahead of us because we kind of really had to whip all this in together, make sure we had all the right screens, the overlays working, and on top of that, you had to hop in a car and then race it. And I think, other than maybe you not winning, because I think a perfect day for you would be to win, but still on the podium as the defending series champ, not too bad start to the season. I think all in all, everything got pulled off pretty well.
Yeah, it was a good race. Nothing to really say. It was just pretty boring, if I'm completely honest with you. Yeah, me and Liam were working together all race, trying to catch Edson there at the end on the second half of the race, but he was just way too fast. Like, we don't know what he was doing, but we tried to copy what he was doing, and it just wasn't working for us. So yeah, we're pretty puzzled on where and how he gained that time. Especially in the pit cycle, because I felt like, and Liam also, when we were in the voice channel, like we nailed the pit cycle as far as it could go. So yeah, really confusing, but Edson drove a great race, and congratulations to him. But yeah, just a good day for the team overall, double podium. So yeah, pretty good start.
Glenn, you got anything for our P2 finisher?
I just want to congratulate you on running this league, Julian. It's always a joy to be up here and commentating, and I hope, for your sake and the viewers at home, that Edson shows up every week and brings it to you. We have a great podium fight just like we did today every single week, because that was really fun to watch.
I just hope it's closer next time. But yeah, thanks guys, and Gary, of course, to come back on all the work we did. It's been a pleasure. Thanks for doing this, and for doing it on our channel as well. I'll make it easy on you. Want to thank all the sponsors, especially Alzheimer's Association today. It's a great cause. Go check them out on alz.org. Dan's been promoting it here, and I'm trying to help him out here as much as I can by doing it as well for him. So check them out. It's a great cause, as I said. They fund research for Alzheimer's and all sorts of dementia, so go check them out there. I have a sponsor ready as well, because we got some sponsors on the team and the league as well, so I'll read those out now as well. Already said Alzheimer's Association, but also IFS Personal Financial Planning with Alexander Boney. Thanks to him for helping us out. Alex helps you plan your financing. You can email him at alex@ifspfp.com, and also Jim Herrick from 4D Race, where you can check out out their sim racing shoes and custom apparel at 40raceway.com. And also, Gary, I have to apologize to you. I still have some really ugly sticker on the air intake on all our cars. I need to get rid of
that. Once we get a new logo,
we can put the new one on.
Much appreciated. But congratulations. And again, it's ALZ.org. Make sure you're going to ALZ. I said ALS, but it's ALZ.org. And we also saw it on the side of Dan Inch's car. Make sure to go there, donate. I know for some people this is Friday, maybe it's a payday Friday. If you have an extra 10 or have an extra 20, go to ALZ.org and give to the Alzheimer's Association and that's one way, thanking them for sponsoring us for this race. But the biggest reason is that your money will provide support and research toward Alzheimer's, and then Alzheimer's patients, and then also support for caregivers of people that have Alzheimer's. And if you might remember listening to Dan, it's a very difficult job to take care of a family member that has Alzheimer's, and that this organization does help with caregiver support. So very important there. Make sure to check them out. Julian, congratulations. We'll see you in a week or so here at Texas. Actually, we'll probably see you tomorrow, but we'll see you in the DW12s next at Texas. We'll see you in the IR18s tomorrow.
Yes, and before I go, if you see this, you like what you see, definitely go join the league. The DW12s are free to enter. You can just come in as you please, basically. It's on Fridays at 3 p.m. Eastern, as we've run here today as well. And the IndyCar iRacing League also at 3 p.m. on Saturdays. There is a $30 entry fee for that series with prize money as well. And awesome broadcasts like today's. So, that's it. Thanks, guys. Thanks to you, Gary, Kyle, for doing this as always. And see you all tomorrow and next week.
Our pleasure. We'll talk to you later.
Yep, see ya.
And let's bring up Edson Santos. He is in the interview waiting room. Edson Santos here in the booth with Gary and Clindy. Man, what a dominant win. The guys were saying that they could not catch you under any circumstances. What were you doing out there so differently?
Hello, guys. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon here in Brazil. I don't know that. Also, thank you for the words. It's great to be here on the pod again. P1 on the first race of the season. I like racing here in this league. I love this car. So last season I didn't race the last 3 races, so I couldn't fight for the title with Julian. Today, first of all, the qualifying setup was really messed up. My gosh, I didn't practice at all, and then I crashed the car on the 2 laps. I don't know, with very oversteering.
Mm-hmm.
I had to start from the last row. The race started like a little bit boring, just the way I hate with fuel economy, pack racing.
Mm-hmm.
So the first yellow came when the yellow came out and changed everything, because it wouldn't be possible to make one last pit stop. So everyone had to make 2 pit stops until the end.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think the key for this victory was to bring my pit stop, anticipate my pit stop, even though some cars had already fallen behind, probably with bad tires, I don't know. And so I put less fuel to be faster in the both of the occasions, got in the pit. So I got returned 2 seconds ahead of the guys and managed to keep this advantage. Most of the time I was able to half a tenth or a tenth faster because I was with a less fuel. It's the secret there.
There's the secret, Clindy. We didn't even notice that. We knew that he was doing a different pit strategy, but we didn't bother to consider that he was putting in less fuel. We just knew he was faster.
Yeah,
he was also
early. Yeah, I came earlier to the pit, but I was put just 40 or 45 liters. So I was softer.
That's about 10 gallons for any American.
Exactly. Yeah. Around this.
And yeah, and the fuel capacity in gallons, at least with the 80% fuel capacity limit of the car for the race, is 15.7. So yeah, you're only putting in 10 of the 15 gallons. I'm making it for a shorter stop and making you definitely for a lighter car. Well, that was an excellent strategy. And the guys in second and third were like, I think Liam said you were using rocket fuel. Julian wasn't sure what you were doing. They tried to copy your line, and they just weren't gaining. We were watching in the broadcast. We were talking about they were doing swap drafting. They were doing everything by the book to try to run you down, and it just wasn't happening. But man, that was a great call then. And if that was indeed kind of the way this race was won, that was the call. The race was going in with less fuel and a lighter tank. So congratulations. Great call. Call of the day to obviously get you the win. Any shout outs? Anybody want to say hi to? Friends, families, loved ones, sponsors, teammates? Go right ahead.
Yeah, sure. So first of all, thank you for the words. I'd like to send a hug for all the members of my team here in Brazil, Linear Energy. I'd like to talk about Julian as well, to praise and thank you for the organization of the VOR League. Very well done. Congratulations. So that's it. I hope to fight for more victories in this season. Okay.
Well, we will see. Yeah, we will see you at Texas, which I think you won at Texas the last time we were there in these cars. So that's a good start to the season if you can go 2 for 2. But going to another place that you've done well at is next on the schedule. So I'm sure you're looking forward to that. Congratulations, sir, on the win. You're now the points leader going into the second round, and we will see you next week when we go to Texas, hopefully.
Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there for sure. Thank you.
You got it. Congrats. All right. Well, I wasn't sure if we would see him in chat. Sometimes with the Brazilian drivers, there's got a bit of a language barrier, but his English is pretty good, and he sounded pretty happy. And I think he got one over on everybody by doing a lighter fill there on that pit stop.
So that wasn't something I had considered. So maybe his ability to run the bottom better than everyone else was because of the lighter fuel load. 5 gallons of gas is about 30 pounds of weight that you've shaved off the car. Maybe the VOR cars couldn't hold the bottom as quickly as him because they were so much heavier. That would be something that we had overlooked while watching.
Well, that's going to do it. I mean, that was a really quick race. I mean, only one caution there at the very early stages, and then everyone kept it nice and clean for the most part. There were a little bit of incidents here and there that didn't bring out a caution, but a pretty fast race. And that's going to do it for today. Once again, your podium from Homestead is Edson Santos with another win in the series. Starting off the season hot, Julian Altina, the defending series champion, finishes second. And Liam O'Sullivan in a new team, but finishes in a familiar spot on the podium in third. Join Clindy and myself next week for round 2 of season 4 of the VOR IndyCar DW12 Iconic Series as the teams and drivers head to Texas for the Texas 200. Coverage will start approximately at 3 p.m. Eastern. That again, that's 3:00 p.m. Eastern time. And remember, as always, for the correct time in your area, you can find everything right here on YouTube at youtube.com/Velocity Online Racing. Again, youtube.com/Velocity Online Racing. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one. We try to play it here a lot here at the channel. So the best way to support us with the weekly grind, and then we're going to have weekly grinds because we're going to either have DW12s or IRO5s running almost every week now between now and the end of the season. So please help support us. Leave a comment below, and we want to thank everybody that participated in the chat. Thank you very much. Your interaction means an awful lot to us. And let us know what you thought of today's race. If you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video, would you? Real easy to do. Just click the button. Easy and done. The monster's been fed. The best thing you could do, if you're new, click subscribe and hit the bell for weekly reminders so you'll miss out more of Velocity Online Racing's other iRacing programming, including action from their IRO5 Champ Car Series and their IR18 IndyCar Championship Series. Again, that will be tomorrow, and the IRO5s will start here in July. So you want to check that, and then you will be notified of those races starting as well. The VOR DB12 Iconic Series brought to you by the IFS Personal Financial Planning. IFS Personal Financial Planning specializes in helping their clients make the most of their savings with holistic financial planning that is tailored to their specific needs over the course of their lifetimes. On average, they've been working with their clients for over 20 years, helping them navigate the complexities of investments, the uncertainties of markets, and the ever-changing legislative landscapes. Find out more, hit up Alexander Bonney on the Discord channel here. The link is in the description, and DM him for more information, and we will get his email address in the promo here going forward. So all you have to do is just rewind and type it down. But if you go back to Julian's interview, he said it. Track cams provided by Whiplash. I want to thank Whiplash for being the exclusive track cam provider for VOR broadcasts. To learn more about Whiplash, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. Get more out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To visit for more business inquiries and learn more about Velocity Online Racing, visit velocityonlineracing.com, like them on Facebook or follow them on Twitter. So that's going to be it for all of us here in the booth. For Clindy and everyone at Velocity Online Racing, I'm Gary Gotzo saying to all, happy Friday. Thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Texas for the next race of the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar DW12 Iconic Series. See ya.